Hi, I'm David Howard. I'm an Associate Professor at University of Oxford, where I direct a postgraduate programme in Sustainable Urban Development. So I'm delighted to be here in Leicester, and many thanks to British Academy and to Lucy and all for organising the workshops. This morning's session was looking at crime and colonialism. My interest as an urban geographer is particularly in downtown Kingston, where I've been doing some interviews, ethnography if you will, over the last 4 years, looking at the impact on access to basic urban services in Rosetown. And it's particularly following the transition really from certain gang structures that have dominated downtown Kingston for the last 4 decades. And in terms of relevance of that to this current workshop, I've been interested in the representation of gang leaders historically during colonial times and in contemporary times in post-colonial moments. And particularly this morning I've looked at the impact of Reagan, a bad man, an outlaw from the late 1940s, who made front page news for 6 weeks during autumn, where he went he killed 3 people and then was chased by the Jamaican police for 6 weeks around Kingston. That, as I said, made the news. He became somewhat a hero, an anti-hero, but an iconic figure really in this colonial this transition to new colonial, out of colonial era. But I was interested in the resonances of the story, the narrative of Reagan, which was made into a film by Perry Hensel called The Harder They Come, which launched in many ways the music and the acting career of Jimmy Cliff and others. So you have this very clear moment of that real story of Reagan and the fictional account of the Harder They Come film, and how that reflected upon the way that Dudus in 2010, a major gang leader in downtown Kingston, how his narrative was received by the press, the media, but also how residents deal with the aftermath of when the Don, the area leader, is being displaced. So what I've been interested in, I'm looking at the stories of Reagan and of Dudus, and looking at the themes of resilience and redemption, and how these two figures in some ways were not offering redemption, but were some way portrayed as redeeming figures. And so there's some parallels there. And also interested in the role of resilience. In my interests are in sustainable urban development. In many ways, the notion of resilience is seen as a very positive aspect. But if you're in a system and you're resilient within the system and you're not changing that system, then there's clearly an open critique about, do you want to be resilient? Do you want to be future-proofed? Maybe you want to transform that system. So overall, I was looking at the impact of these two figures in really the way contemporary Jamaica has been portrayed through the years of Dudus and now in a transitional phase where the Jamaican economy, the Jamaican political economy is looking to deal with the current economic issues that it faces.